All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are doing absolutely wonderful on this Tuesday. And welcome to the 5 Non-Negotiable call. We have a lot of good stuff to share with you guys because, as you guys know, we start a whole new year very soon in just a few more days. And we want to go ahead and be ready, right? We want to go ahead and be ready to start the year. We want to go ahead and be ready even before the year, because I know that a lot of people have their goals and everything set up for the year or the resolutions, but we know what happened with the resolutions at the beginning of the year. We know that most of the resolutions, they end on the second week of the month. And in this case, with Against All Odds, we're trying and we want you to go ahead and achieve and be successful in all the aspects of your life on your 5 non-negotiables. So we're going to go ahead and do it with you. And that's the whole goal of this 5 non-negotiable call, so we can be accountable for, and we as a team can go ahead and go to the next level. So guys, welcome every single one of you. If you guys are new to this page and you guys is the first time that you guys are seeing this live of the 5 non-negotiable call, my name is JC Martinez. I'm co-founder of AAO, and I'm here with Travis Martin, co-founder of AAO as well, and Dan Putnam, co-founder of AAO. And we're super excited, guys, to be here and obviously share with you all the good stuff that we have for the month of January. So I'll go ahead and give the microphone to our co-founder, Dan Putnam, so he can go ahead and explain what is the book that we're trying to read and why, and what are the things that we're going to go ahead and do to start in January 1st. My friend Dan, the floor is all yours.
All right, thanks so much, JC. Yeah, the book that we've decided to read for January is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Many people probably know his background from personal development, the People's Network, to the founder of Nerium, one of the more successful network marketing companies out there. So just like a lot of things, like the Atomic Habits, like the Never Finished, all of these different types of things, it's really not just about the information that you get from the book, but it's really about actually putting them into action. I remember going all the way back to the only job I've ever had as an adult. For a couple of years, I kind of was burnt out of network marketing back in like 1999, 2000. 3 companies in a row had gone out of business. And it was really before I was just kind of fed up and decided to, start helping launch my own companies because I just didn't like the model. But for a couple of years, a lot of people may not know, I went to work for an insurance company called Blue Cross Blue Shield. I had really never done sales other than network marketing. I hadn't done a whole lot of stuff like that. And my brother, actually, I just asked him, for some advice. He was a seminar speaker, had done very well in sales and stuff like that. And he recommended a book to me. Wasn't The Slight Edge, but kind of similar. It was the Art of Better Sales by Tom Hopkins. And there's several things in that book that really make me think of The Slight Edge and things that I implemented in my own personal life and business and group sales of health insurance. And what was interesting, I'd never sold health insurance or anything like it. I had, since I was 18 years old, I'd only done network marketing pretty much my entire adult life. Before that, I worked at my parents' furniture store, just delivering furniture, fixing furniture, doing those types of things. So it was a new experience for me, having a boss, having to work for somebody. But the first year, just as an example, by implementing some of these things, our quota for the year was 16 groups. The most that had ever been sold in the state was 23. I sold 36 groups the first year, and it wasn't because I'm the best person in the world. It was really just these slight edge type of things that I implemented, such as having a meeting with somebody, sending them a thank you letter. Anytime we would do applications for health insurance, you basically get all of their information, their birth dates, their all of that type of stuff, and I would just put it in a calendar with the decision makers, the managers, the higher level people, and send them all birthday cards. Just those types of things that really don't seem like that big of a deal. But I really feel a lot of that was the difference between just being kind of average and excelling. It wasn't that I was doing anything that different than all of the other, district managers, is what the position was called in the state of Wyoming. But I was just doing little extra things. So we were all making, similar sales calls because we had to, every single day, we had to send in the calls that we did every single week. We had to, post the results and our plans and how the outcome was and all of that stuff. So basically you were forced by the regional manager who watched over all the district managers to show exactly what you was doing. So I was making similar amount of calls to everybody else, but I really think it was just these little things that I was doing that made a huge difference. And literally the difference in selling literally more than 2 times what the quota was for the year in that office, and significantly more than 50% more than had ever been sold in the state. And so the reason I'm talking about that is just doing the slight differences can make a massive difference when you're looking at duplication and what this type of business is. And just a couple of examples of what I'm talking about. Now, again, I feel there's a lot of people that are putting in the daily effort to build a successful business. And it really is just kind of that slight edge thing that could be keeping them back. Now, people aren't doing anything. It's way more than the slight edge that they need in order to be successful. But for the people that really feel like you're doing everything, just a few small tweaks. And we talk about some of it in the QI training, and just using something like, instead of trying to, sell something to your warm market or ask them to look at the opportunity or ask them to buy something, just asking them if they know anybody that might be interested in trying a free sample, telling them all the benefits, sharing some testimonial videos, taking all the pressure off of them. And what you'll see is, you go to 10 or 15 warm contacts, and instead of asking them, you simply ask them if they know anybody who might want to try a free sample, ask them if they had watched this short testimonial video, et cetera, et cetera. And what you'll find is probably almost the same amount of them will say, well, I would like to try one. So you're getting almost the same as if you ask them directly, but then you also might be getting 3, 4, 5, 6 more people from some of them. So it's really not that different. I talked to one person, but instead of trying to sell them, which best case scenario, I'm going to get out one sample and maybe get one customer or one influencer, but just by asking them a question, do you know anybody who would be interested in trying a sample, or and doing the test don't guess and checking out, helping us dethrone cardiovascular disease, or do you know anybody at all that's looking for a way to make some extra income? So instead of putting all the pressure on them, if they're interested, I can assure you they're going to say, yeah, I'm interested. Or they're going to say, well, this person, and I would like to look at it also. So it's just a lot of these little techniques. I also remember early days before I even understood that my business was actually my list and things like that, and focusing and building the list. It was kind of an interesting story. Out of frustration, nobody really in my family joined the business or really wanted anything to do with it, but I got some of the best advice from family members, even more so than the so-called networking experts. And one of them was talking to my dad one time, and I was super frustrated trying to figure out how to build the business. And he just kind of asking me what I was doing, and I said, man, I'm doing every single thing that they say. I'm talking to everybody that I can think of. I'm putting out all these flyers. I'm striking up conversation. And he says, well, what are you doing with the people that don't join after you talk to them? And I just said, what do you mean? Because I was doing nothing. I was just moving on. I would try and prospect. If they didn't join, I just moved on. And he said, well, you have to be able to follow up. You have to do something. And he just kind of referred, they had an insurance brokerage, but also a furniture store. And he said that there could be somebody that if I talked to him yesterday about a new mattress, he has no interest at all in a new mattress. But then if a spring pokes through or something happens to his mattress, now all of a sudden he wasn't looking for something 2 days ago, but now he's looking for something. So those are just the little things. So then it was like, okay, I wasn't really prospecting that much more. But that's when I first started building my list and focusing on the list and communicating with them. And I kind of felt like, here's the bottom line. Understand exactly what it takes to build a business. I know that I have to build a list, I have to cultivate the list, I have to present to the list. Once I get somebody, either a customer or an influencer, then I need to teach them that same process. But the other thing that I figured is, now that I've figured this out, now that I understand it, I'm just going to stay consistent. And I'm going to stay in my company longer than anybody else is going to stay in theirs. That was literally the train of thought that I got, almost like a contest, because I'd call these people all the time, and literally 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months later, they're in a different company. There's people that I know, JC and Travis know them also, just in our position, we see a lot of the people come and go. There's so many people that I know that I can literally see them post every 30 to 60 days, a brand new company, and they say the exact same thing. Oh, this product's so amazing. I feel better than I've ever felt before. I've never felt like this. I finally found it. And it's just common. And so I just said, man, there's no way that I can lose. I know exactly how to build it. I know exactly what to do. And I know most of these people don't have the mental toughness to stick in a company. So they'll see me month after month, year after year, decade after decade in the same company. And they're eventually going to wake up and see that they want to work with somebody who has some staying power, and drop all of these, so-called leaders that are joining a new company every 60 to 90 days to 6 months. So these are the type of things that you'll definitely see. Again, Jeff Olson, just huge into personal development, all the way back from the People's Network, started one of the most successful companies in the last couple decades. And I think we can all learn a lot from the book, The Slight Edge. And there's a lot of things that I've taken from, not only The Slight Edge, but other books teaching similar principles that I can guarantee you have made a massive difference. And we're talking probably by this time, from when I first learned these things, we're talking not, 6 or 7 figures. We're probably talking 8 or 9 figure type of income difference, and just implementing these things over, years and years and decades and decades and decades. So that's kind of my pitch for The Slight Edge. But again, remember, it's not just getting the information from the book. That's good, but it's finding out what you can do and actually implementing it in your business, and then taking it even a step further, getting the duplication from all of your personally sponsored people and their people and their people, etc., to also start to put some of these people in the book. And it's important that as a leader, you lead from the front. And, I think far too often leaders think that, oh, I got this. I've been in the industry. I've had success. I've done this. I don't need to do any of this stuff. And then there gets to a point that their downline doesn't really see them doing anything. And it kind of feels like, man, you just want me to do all the work so you can make money. So I think it's important that not only that you help teach this to your downline, but you do it yourself and implement these things. I know for sure you can get some great information from this book. Again, The Slight Edge, we'll be going over it throughout the month of January. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Hey, Dan, thanks for that. And as you know, Dan and I actually talked about this book for January in December. I purchased the book already. I've been reading it and listening to it. And I'll tell you right now, just the whole concept of these little extra touches, these touch points, do make a huge difference in your business. So I just want to express my gratitude to both my co-founders and business partners in this endeavor. The fact that we get up in the morning and we have this 5 non-negotiable call, that we've got a plan, we talk about this, is actually something you should be learning from, taking notes from. It's also something that you should be duplicating. You should be having your own calls with your own teams. You should be reading the books with your team members, not just relying on us to do them, but to do it with your own teams. And that is actually, once again, the slight edge or the difference you'll see in your business when you start implementing the same things you see us doing. The reason why we have these times together and why we're doing this is because we know this is how you build a business. This is how you build the culture. But it's not about relying on us to do it. It's about learning from us and then doing it yourself. That's why we have everything we do, we have action-based. Now, JC's got these challenges we're going to go over for the month of January. Dan's got these books we're reading, but it's not about reading. It's about doing these things. So I just want to express my gratitude to my partners with that. One of the things I was talking with JC before the call was, we've got 2023 coming up. And the best thing you can do between now and 2023 is to really set out, if you haven't already, and put a plan together for 2023. We read Atomic Habits. We talked about the importance of, step by step, 1% each day. We read Never Finish, Getting Through the Tough Times. Those were by design. We put those books out there for you to learn that when 2023 comes around, it prepares you for the hard times. It prepares you for putting that plan together and putting it all together. Now, Dan just mentioned the slight edge. Once again, adding value to your business to help you grow in the ways in which you should go. So here's what we talked about, JC and I did. We want you to sit down this week, if you haven't already, and write down your plan for 2023. And we want to see a month by month. And if you haven't maybe thought that far in advance, write a plan for January. Put your goals together for January. Send that email to customer support entitled 2023 goals. And then we're going to hold you accountable to that goal. We want to see what your plan is. We want to reward you and actually recognize you for keeping the goals that you put in place. So we'll put this in an email to get everybody out there, but we want you to seriously take this time between now and the first of the year to write down an actual plan, not just something you're going to wing, not just something you've done in the past, but what are you going to do differently from what you've learned, from what you've experienced, taking the hard lesson, how are you going to get through the grind, and just write it down. Without that plan in place, you can expect to get the same results you got from 2022. Now, maybe it wasn't a bad year, but if you want to really level up your game, you have got to write that down, and you've got to sit to the course and be able to hit those goals that you put together. Once again, this is something we've done as a company. You know, I talked to Dan, I talked to JC. You've seen some of the new marketing materials that you see coming out. Once again, this is also the slight edge, the things that we're putting together to give your business an advantage, right? We're not doing this for our own aggrandizement. We're doing it to grow a business together. So you've got to put your plan together that we're going to help you support in that process. So once again, what we'd like you to do is write out the plan for the month of January, send it to customer support at 2023 goals, put detailed as specific as you can, and then we're going to reward you at the end of January for those that have actually met those goals, give you some recognition and some prizes along the way. But that's what I'm going to give you the admonition to do and to pursue. Without that plan, guys, you're not going to be able to level up. So we want to see that happen. So JC, I'll give the floor back to you. I know you got some other challenges for us as well. You're muted, JC.
I guess I have to click on mute, right? No, I totally agree, Travis, with everything that you guys have been saying with you and Dan. And I think that this plan is going to help you guys so much, because this whole vision and this 5 negotiable thing, the contract with yourself, is the most powerful thing that you will invest in. Because actually, the whole idea behind this is that you become the best and you find the best version of yourself. And finding and doing that way, then you're going to go ahead and make sure that the people around you start doing the same thing. It will be the effect domino that they call so much. And this is the whole thing about this, and that's why accountability and having the plan and having that non-negotiable contract with yourself on your plan, on your finance, on your health, on your exercise, on your growth, on everything that has to do with your 5 non-negotiables is so important. And actually, now that you will have a plan for January, now that you have a commitment to start doing that, I think it will be absolutely wonderful. And one of the things that we want to go ahead and do for January, it would be to start another challenge. But this challenge, it would be something that is going to push you to the next level. Because obviously, we all like to do challenges, we all like to do things, but we don't like to go the extra. We don't like to go and do the one more. That's what we're trying to go ahead and achieve, to create that mental toughness, to create that one more mindset, so you can go ahead and also achieve the same things and have the same mentality to your other goals, not only the physical stuff, but also your finances, your business, and everything that you're doing. You have to go ahead and do one more. And in this case, we're going to go ahead and do a burpee challenge, and I'm going to go ahead and explain later, and we're going to go ahead and send emails, and we're going to go ahead and send videos exactly on how you can go ahead and perform these burpees. I know that a lot of people probably are like, oh, burpees, oh my gosh, they are so hard. They're gonna be something that is gonna kick my butt. Well, yeah, it will. That's the whole point of it. The whole point is that you can go ahead and go to the next level. So there will be different types of things that you can go ahead and do. So obviously it's not as hard as the beginning for you, but the whole thing is to always do one more. So we're gonna go ahead and start with 10 burpees on the 1st of January, and every single day we're gonna go ahead and add one more, and add one more, and add one more. At the end of the month, we're gonna go ahead and do 50. So that's something that is going to go ahead and help us to go ahead and create that mindset. And also we're doing some planks, so please stay tuned for more information. I know that I'm just giving a lot of information right now, and obviously you guys will have it in writing. We'll go ahead and send an email with some videos on what you can do and what you cannot. But the whole idea on this challenge is not to just complete a challenge, it's actually to create that one more mindset. So super excited for this, Travis and Dan. I know that you guys are also excited because we have been doing that for a long time behind the scenes on other stuff. And I know that it will be something exciting for all of us.
Awesome. Thanks, JC. Just everyone can recap what JC said, we've got a burpee challenge starting with 10. Is that right, JC? 10 on the first day, and then you add one more every day after that. And then we're looking at a 60-minute or a 1 minute plank as well, challenge as well. But once again, the principle behind it is consistency. And the principle behind it is to build that 1% extra each month or each day, just to kind of teach a principle behind it. So JC, awesome challenge. Looking forward to it.
Let's go. Let's get it. So I think that's everything that I have for the challenge here. I know that we will have more information. I don't know if you, Travis, or Dan want to go ahead and chime in before we finish the call, but I think we're super excited for January. January will bring a lot of cool stuff for you guys. We will be more settled when it comes to marketing and when it comes to other stuff that we have been working on. So we're excited. We're excited. Honestly, everything that we're trying to portray on this vision, we do it by heart. We just don't do it by like other companies that they get together and they look at numbers. No, this is something that we want to go ahead and do. We do it with passion and we do it with love. And I think that that's something that we're going to go ahead and build all together and have that accountability and grow all together in this 2023. So super excited for 2023. I think it's going to be one of the best years of every single one of the family members of AAO, counting us, of course, as co-founders. So let's go ahead and let's get it.
One thing really quick, guys, that I want to add, and we didn't discuss this, I'm just kind of winging it here really quick, but I think next week, one thing that could be a good idea, and just so that some people can maybe prepare for it. Obviously, we have nutrition, we have fitness, we have the finances or the business, we have personal development, we have accountability. So let's be thinking of something that we can start next week for nutrition. What we'll put together as a team, obviously January 1st comes along. One of everybody's, not everybody, but one of the most popular New Year's resolutions is weight loss. And so one of the things that I think would be helpful is as a company, we'll kind of put something together, kind of a guide. A lot of people already know this, but some people don't. We'll kind of put a guide, just a basic 1 or 2 page nutrition guide to show people what a diet might look like if you're looking for weight loss. And then different months we may want to do if you're looking for, building muscle, if you're looking for whatever, some different things that you can do. So just kind of an assignment for everybody. If you can be thinking, because we'll ask it next week, of your favorite healthy recipe. And then maybe next week we can make it a challenge for everybody to share their favorite healthy recipe and send it in. And then we can kind of put that together and make a little AAO healthy recipe weight loss book along with the pages that we put together, just a little ebook or a little guide that some people can use. So again, next week we'll maybe discuss that a little bit for the nutrition, taking it one step further than just drinking your greens every day. So that's all I wanted to kind of point out, and let's go out and get excited. Let's kill the year. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, JC. Thanks everybody for joining the call. We'll see you next Tuesday, 9 a.m. guys. Is that the scheduled time? Okay, sounds good. 9 a.m. next Tuesday.
Thanks, guys.
And remember, drink your greens is a non-negotiable. Let's go, guys.